Hi everyone, it's Verity here from inkybutterfly.wordpress.com and thank you for joining me today. And I'm doing something in 3 dimensions today. You don't see that very often on this channel. I am a card maker in the main, but I wanted to do something with the Poinsettia Place designer series paper, and I came up with these little bags that are big enough to hold like a little mini hand gel or something of that nature. Maybe a bit of makeup or something like that, or even, you know, something like a keyring for a guy or something like that. Anyway, something small gift, using the Poinsettia Place designer series paper. It also uses the Poinsettia dies, so just using this little teeny tiny die to make that little embellishment. Okay, and yeah, we'll get cracking and I'll show you how I made it. So we're going to start off, we're going to make the bag first. No, I got carried away and I scored it all, but I'll show you what the measurements are again. So I found it was easy to do it with a scoreboard. Can you see the top of that? Yeah, you can. Okay. So this is the biggest sort of size I could work out, giving you a nice generous glue tab. If you make a kit any wider, you lose the end. And I cut down the paper to 6 by 6, so that they are 12 by 12 sheets. So in theory, you can get 4 of these little pouches from 1 sheet of paper. And we're scoring at 1 3/8 intervals. So 1 3/8, 2 3/4, 4 1/8. and 5 1/2. Okay, and then you're going to twizzle it round and you're going to score again at 1 3/8 of an inch. Okay, so do you want to, again, 1 3/8, 2 3/4, 4 1/8, 5 1/2, turn it round, and 1 3/8 again. Okay, so you get like a square here. Okay, is that okay? So that's how we do our scoring and the measurements for it. Okay, and then what I've done is I've actually gone ahead and burnished those already, but I'm just going to reinforce those with a bone folder. Okay, and you get that. So we've got a sort of a skinny section down here and a squares at the bottom. Okay, super duper. And then we need some scissors. Okay, so I'm going to turn it round so this little skinny part is facing me, and I'm going to just notch out this this portion here, so that's not where the square is. Now I'm left-handed, so you may opt to turn it round, I don't know, but this is where you need to cut. Okay, top of that skinny bit, where that score line meets. I hope you can see those score lines. Can you see them? Where that score line meets there, we're going to cut a little wedge there and cut away that bottom rectangle altogether, like so. So if we pause here for a moment, our box is going to go together like that, with this being the back, which means the front is this tab. Okay, so the front tab and the back tabs are the ones you want to keep square, so they give you a nice neat finish. So you if you skip one, they're the ones we want to keep square. So I'm going to cut the right hand side of this score line. Sorry, that's not the right at all, that is the left. And the right hand side of this one. So we get a nice neat square for the front here, this one. Okay, I'm going to do exactly the same thing on this one. Obviously we don't need to cut here because... Okay, so we've got 2 neat squares for the back and the front, and I'm going to tuck those away. And then we're going to cut wedges into each each of these ones. So from the end there to that first score line. Like so. Okay, they don't have to be particularly even, and that's what we end up with. Okay, just leave that there for a moment while you just have a look at that. Okay, nick away, take away, wedge, square, wedge, square. Okay, and then I'm going to take a bit of my multi-purpose glue and fold in this one with the flap on it. I'm going to run some glue, oops, along there. You want something strong, you'll get it, you know, it's something that's going to be manipulated. And we fold that over, and because it's scored evenly, that should meet up nice and neatly. And again, if you just go over the score lines again, that will be even better. Okay, it's got a nice square bag there. Okay, so we can see where the back is, which is here. Okay, so I like to keep the back sort of toward me, if you know what I mean. I'm going to fold in my sides, fold the back over. Okay, and then I'm going to put glue onto this flap, which will become the front of the little bag. So I'm just going to done all the other ones with no problems with my glue, and as soon as I want to do it with you guys, it's misbehaving. Okay, so holding the other pieces in place to keep it square, just fold over that front flap, and we'll just need to hold that in place just for a couple of seconds. So there's no seam at the front here or on these corners. All the seams are on the sides and on the back. Okay, so that gives you a neat front. Okay, so I've got the front now towards me. I'm going to pinch in the sides just like that. So there's no extra score lines here. You can buckle this in if you want, but I wanted to keep it square at the bottom. Okay, I'm using one of the mini library clips in white to hold that together. Okay, so that is the bag, and I've got another one somewhere that's partly finished, which I've put somewhere. There it is. Okay, so I've actually got two that I need to decorate at the moment. So this is another piece of that paper. So we'll just leave those guys to one side just for the moment. I'm going to bring in some bits and pieces I've already punched and die cut. So as I said, this is real red, using those teeny tiny poinsettia dies. So we're going to create our little tags now. So I'm going to crisscross these guys over. So let's put some dabs of glue on there and stick those together like so. No specific angles, just something that looks nice to you. And then we're going to put glue on each of these. Just a little bit in the middle will be absolutely fine. Okay, and then we can just add those to those little. They're the sprig punch. Really nice little punch to add sort of foliage detail to your projects. Okay, so they're setting up, and then I'm going to take some of the gold metallic pearls. These come in a pack, and you'll get gold and silver in the same pack. I just happen to have two packs, and I just separated them just so I could get to them easily. Right, take your pick tool, and we're just going to add one of those pearls to the centre of each of these, just to finish those off. They look really cute. Like so. So that's our little embellishment done. And so we're just going to let that glue dry a little bit. Put those to one side for a moment or two. And I'm going to bring in some Very Vanilla card. I chose Very Vanilla so I've got some contrast behind the foliage without having to like colour match everything. So this sort of goes with everything. It's nice and neutral. And what we're going to do is use the Merry Christmas, which is actually from the Have a Hoot stamp set. So this Merry Christmas here, okay? So this guy will be retiring when the catalogue comes to the end in January. So if it's one you want, do get it before it goes. Right, so this is actually garden green ink. So all the tags have been stamped using ink that coordinates with the patterned paper. So I've got some real red, I've got some soft suede. This happens to be garden green. There's some old olive in there as well. And I'm just put that towards the bottom of this piece of cardstock. I'm going to take this rectangle stamp punch and I'm going to line that sentiment up towards the bottom of there, straightish, just about fits. And like that'll do. Okay, so that's our little sort of tag portions, and then we're just going to add our poinsettias to those. So just a little bubble glue. Tombow is really, really strong. Once this sets, it'll be rock solid. Okay, and then all we have to do is pin those onto our little baggies. That's all we have to do. So I just held that in place, squeezed everything together, and just held those in place with these cute clips. So obviously you would wait for them to dry a little bit longer than I have, otherwise you might end up with things slipping and sliding off, but for the demonstration this will be fine. So just slide those over. They're like little mini bulldog clips, aren't they? But just use that poke tool to get that out from behind there so I can slide it in. There we are. Fab. So I'd like it to be in the middle, you see, because that's the way I roll. Right. Okay, how quick was that? Not bad for someone who doesn't do 3D projects, right? Okay, and I made them all, so here we are. These are all the papers, so even if the paper is a bit so I wouldn't say this was particularly cute, but for a guy card, I think that's that guy present, that's great. I've got these ones, so I've got 12, yeah, 12 little pouches that I can put gifts in and everything, so I think that's turned out pretty well. Okay, those are garden green. Okay, as always, guys, if you would like and subscribe, that would be fantastic. I'm almost at 250 subscribers, teetering at that little mark at the moment. And any of the products that I've used today are going to be linked in the description below, and there will be a blog post with some pictures of the finished articles. So if you do check those out. Thanks guys, see you later.